All right, so we're joined from Delaware by my friend, the founder and owner and operator of Scrubbed in Style right there in the tri-state area. Originally from Atlantic City, New Jersey, Leah Ellis. We've got a room full here with us at Velma Jackson. This is for our entrepreneurship class, and we're recording this for our friends at Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, Madison Central High School, and our YouTube channel. So thank you for joining us. This is the second time you've been with us.
I appreciate it, and I'm less nervous than I was before. So let's get that straight.
All
I've done a
right.
few interviews, so I should be okay.
Awesome. Now, like we said, we are from Atlantic City, New Jersey, up there on the East Coast, and you kind of had a untraditional way of starting your business. So,
I,
take us through
mhm.
how all that happened and what led you to starting Scrubbed in Style.
Okay, so like you said, it's very untraditional. Uh, People's story always blow my mind, but when it happens to you, it's like, oh my goodness, you know. So I was in nursing. I was not an RN or anything like that, but I did nursing, which was like home health aide, CNA type of work. I just thought about how could I still do nursing, but kind of switch gears a little bit. I just kind of still wanted to stay in the same realm of what I was doing. I'm more comfortable with that. Some people like to go outside of what they're used to, which is great. I'm one of them people. I like to stay in what I'm used to. So one day I just thought about it. The uniform scrub business is still in medical. It's a high demand. And I just thought, like, why couldn't I start something like that? I didn't think of starting a business before this prior, but as I start looking into it, it became a really big idea of mine. And once I kind of did my research, I took a lot of research, a lot. I did research on YouTube. I call YouTube University. Google, you can pretty much teach yourself a lot if you sit down and learn. It's you can teach yourself a whole lot. So once I seen a young lady do it online, I kind of gave myself the idea and I studied this business for a good three years.
Wow. And now Scrubbed in Style, we did look at your website. You sell, like you said, scrubs and medical apparel because
Yes.
that's a feel demand that's not going to stop because of the aging population, of the ever growing demand for healthcare professionals, whether they're in school, and pretty much everybody in a healthcare facility is going to need scrubs. So you
Absolutely.
obviously saw a lot of people need it, and you found a way to meet them and offer a great product. So talk about first of all what all it is you sell and how you kind of reach your market because you're in I know you mainly focus on the Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania area, but you've got customers all over the country.
Yes. So how I get customers, one thing you have to do is market yourself. That's super important. Market and promote yourself. My motto is always keep promoting until they know your name. That's my motto. I use Facebook, for example. I am in various groups. I'm in a lot of nursing groups, a lot of business groups. So I literally get into these groups and just market. You have to market yourself, especially when you're an entity by yourself. You're not a big corporation, so therefore people don't know who you are. You have to make them know who you are. You have to put yourself out there. And I always say, what makes you uncomfortable will make you successful. Every day, I've literally been in this business almost three years and I'm still uncomfortable, but the uncomfortability will make you successful.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it really is all about stepping outside your comfort zone in anything. I agree.
absolutely. Absolutely. So also, I not only just sell in this area, I am a mobile-based business, which I love. I was offered a store twice and I did turn it down. It might suit somebody else, but it just wasn't making sense to me, money-wise. And then just the fact that I can travel around and pretty much do deliveries. I drop off at the hospitals. So even when I go on vacation, you can always turn that into business. So when I go on vacations, I'm always dropping in the facility and they always need scrubs everywhere I go. So I pretty much market anywhere I go. I can be in Virginia, I can be in anywhere, New York, and I market my business and I always wind up getting clients.
Uh, that's incredible. I mean, I always say closed mouths don't get fed.
Absolutely.
Now, Now, one thing you've really focused on, and we talked about this a lot last time, is we've had a lot of young people come to this class and out of our school that have started their own business, whether it be part-time or full-time.
Mhm.
And the biggest mistake I see business owners make, especially young Black business owners, is they don't charge enough. They're thinking in a 17-year-old mindset. This is what my friends would do. That this is high. I don't know if I'd pay that. But when especially when you can offer more, I think that gives you the ability to charge more because people know when
Absolutely.
they buy from you, they're getting a quality product. They're not going to get a scrub that's going to tear up in a few months. So people
Absolutely.
are willing to pay a little bit more for something they know will last. And I know you've done a great job of that. And it's something you said you struggled with at first. So how did you
Mhm.
get to that point where you knew you were charging the right thing?
That's a great question. When I first started, like for a set prime example, like I said, I have on like a top and bottom. I was initially charging about $40, but I also have to look at my competition and also have to look at the brand and the quality, like you said, of what I'm selling. So again, you have to really market and you also have to look into the quality and brand you're selling. You don't want to undercut yourself because you still have to pay for the product. What I want to mention is a lot of people don't think about this stuff, but when we're selling these products, we still have to pay a back end of it. We still have to pay for websites, we still have to pay for shipping. So you have to make sure you're making your money back. You don't want to undercut yourself, like I said. So therefore, when I first started, I'm looking at the competition, I'm looking at the material. I said, oh, I can up this price. And we also have a question in business. They said, when is a good idea to change your price? And we always say, when we want to. You can change your price anytime you want to change it, depending on the market. Everything else is going up, inflation, everything is like a, so you want to make sure you're making your money still. And also don't ever, 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 like I said, undercut yourself. I always tell women that's just getting in business, or men too, that it's 50 states, because people always say, I'm not, no one's supporting me locally. It's 51 states, choose one. Somebody's going to buy your product somewhere. So don't ever cut yourself low. Charge what you're going to get your money back, because you have to pay. If you just spend your money and not getting your money back, you're not making anything.
Yeah.
So you make sure you have to get your money back and more to cover your business expenses and your living expenses, honestly.
Yeah, and then it's a mental game. You can offer things like, I tell the kids this all the time. We've all done it where we spent a couple more dollars where you can say, purchases up to whatever is free shipping. Now it
There
says
you
free
go.
shipping because they see free, but what they don't know, they've already paid for that. So you're
Right.
covering their by giving a perceived value. Now you're not selling them crap. Obviously, you're selling them a great product, but
Hmm.
that's going to make somebody more likely to buy maybe one more thing to,
Absolutely.
to knock that dollar sign maybe just up a couple dollars. That
To
adds up.
entice your target audience. Yep. Hmm.
Yeah. Now, something something I think is cool is you don't just sell women's products, because obviously people think nurses and CNAs, they are majority women, but there's a lot of men that need this as well. And I think that's something that you've done a great job of, because when you go to facility, there are men and women employees that are going to need scrubs. So
Yes.
talk about how you developed your product line, because you've added some things since we last talked.
Yes. So again, like you said, I not only just cater to the women, I cater to the men, because again, we have men in healthcare. We don't think about that. We don't think about the men doctors. We don't think about the men CNAs or the men nurses, the men dentists. So I made sure I got a men's line, and that we came out with a little commercial comedy ad to introduce the men's line. And that was a hit. That was a success. And we want to cater to the men. So, and it's crazy because most brands have unisex, but a lot of brands don't have, companies don't have just strictly for men. And that's where I introduced the product, and that's where I feel like I set myself apart from the other companies. When people say, "What's the difference between you and the others?" That's one of the differences. Is I have a strictly for a men's line.
Yeah, and I think that shows the personalization. And again, it goes back to perceived value. Look, this person is going to put in the time to get me a specific men's item or a specific women's item. And there's nothing wrong. We're not knocking the unisex products, but that does show that you have that little extra, the little extra detail to or attention to detail. Now
Mhm.
something else you do, and you're wearing it there, and it looks great, is you do alpha monogram, because
Yes.
everybody loves taking the pictures with the monogram. So talk about how that works and how that also allows you to charge more.
Okay, so that's a great, I love that. I love that. So that's another thing I feel like my company is set aside from other companies. we consider ourselves a one-stop shop where you can come on, get your scrubs, lab coats, jackets, and also get the embroidery done right off the website. It's no, you have to ship it somewhere else. It's no, you have to get it done. We pretty much do everything on the website. You pay for it, you send us your artwork or whatever it is. And if it's something outside of what we have, we still accommodate that as well. So, and we give a window of maybe 5 to 14 business days, which majority of the time take a lot less than that, but that's the time frame we give. And we're considered a one-stop shop. So they can get any nickname, any company's logo, or anything you want right directly on your scrub from our website.
Yeah, and on top of that, again, people will pay for convenience. If you can offer more, people are going to pay more. So, and again, you're not selling them crap. You're saying, look, you give me just a few dollars more, I can give you a great product that's, you know, designed for a specific gender. And if you want, I can put a logo and I can put your name on there, and then you're done with it. You don't have anything else to worry about.
Right. And they get, and the one thing about my company, I also tell people that we also contact you the whole way. We let them know when it's in their embroidery stages, when it's time to ship. Any questions they may ask, they can call, email us, no problem. It's never been an issue. Everything has always been really smooth process, and we get good feedback from that.
Absolutely. Now, a couple of things before I get to the students' questions is you recently had a celebrity reach out to you about your product line. So that was super cool. So tell us about that.
Okay, so all right, so we started this business. I started this business in March of 2021. I myself flew to Atlanta, Georgia, because I've been trying to get in contact with no other than Dr. Heavenly from the hit show Married to Medicine. I was trying to get a hold of her. I would get on her lives on Instagram, on Facebook. I would DM her any way I tried to get in contact with this lady. I did. So I flew to Atlanta, and she has a hair store. So her dental office was closed. She's a dentist, by the way. And she's on the show Married to Medicine, which comes on Bravo TV. And she's a dentist along with the other doctors on there. So because I couldn't get a hold of her, I dropped my cards off at her hair store last year, March. And lo and behold, this year, May of 2023, she made a purchase from Scrubbed in Style website. And so that was a big deal for my company, especially still being new. I'm still considered a new company, a new brand, and still marketing myself every day. So that just took the cake, and I have been ecstatic. And I wanted to also say this. A lot of times, even when you get a celebrity client, most people up their price, honestly, because now you have a status of a celebrity wearing your scrubs or whatever you might sell. I did not change my price. I did not, because I'm waiting to get a couple more. I have a couple people on my roster. Can't tell you yet, but when I do that, that's when I'm more than likely will change my price. And you can always change your price no matter what. Don't ever let the consumer make you feel guilty about changing your price, ever.
Yeah, and you know, people might say, well, you're crazy for trying to chase a celebrity. Well, if they don't call you back, that's fine. But you can't say, well, I didn't know. Well, you're not going to know if you don't try.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, and you know, similar to me, you know, I reach out to people all over the country. You know, similar to the way I met you. I had the star of the mole on Netflix speaking our class.
Right.
I don't know if she's gonna say yes, but I got a hold of her and she was like, sure, I'd love to. So, you know, we've had reality TV stars speak to our kids, and you know, at the end of the day, you're never going to know if you don't try. So, and I think that's a big part of business is something may not work. You know, you can change things. You can change your hours. You can change your logo. You can change your mission. You can change your prices. But if you don't try it, it's, you know, business is so much trial and error. If you had not gone to Atlanta, you may, you know, you don't know what would have happened.
No, not at all. Not at all. So keep putting yourself out there. Don't ever stop, ever. Keep putting yourself, whatever your passion is, keep, no matter what anyone say, keep doing what you're doing, and you want to become successful no matter what.
Love to see it. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before I get to the questions is, you know, we have a lot of guests from multiple types of businesses in this class. And one thing that seems to be pretty uniform across the board is I knew how to make a great product. I knew how to provide a great service or whatever, but I really did not know a whole lot about what it takes to run a business. So what are some things that you had to learn on the fly or get trained on or outsource? And when it comes to the business side of not just, not your product, because obviously you're an expert on that, but things behind the scenes you had to learn?
That's a good question as well. Every day I learn, even to this day, I learn things literally every day. I have a website. I had to learn myself personally to work my website. When I first seen it, it looked like French. Like I had no idea what I was expecting. I didn't know what to do. I had to really sit and learn. And looking back, that's funny you said that. Looking back, I'm like, oh my God, now I know like 85% of it, of what to do, how to put product on. But it's like a self-taught thing. Go to YouTube. YouTube is everything. You can learn everything off of YouTube. Whatever your business is, go and find somebody that's in your business and try to learn. But I learned 90% of it on my own. I did. I didn't have no one to ask. I didn't have a mentor. I literally sat on the computer, on my phone, and taught myself so much. And to this day, I still do. I promise you, I still do learn every single day.
Wow. Yeah. And it really is, it's something you can't get lazy with it. You can't just assume you're going to figure it out. Or you can assume you'll be able to find an employee because you're a one-woman show. Now there are small businesses that work with entrepreneurs that can do things for you, but it's something that eventually at the end of the day, you're going to at least have to be familiar with.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I do have some questions from the students. Get
Okay.
as many of these as I can. The first one is Donovan Harris. He's a senior, one of our archery champions here at Velma Jackson. And he asked, what made you want to focus on medical apparel as opposed to other apparel?
Okay. Because it's the biggest in the industry, how we kind of discussed already. It's a big, broad business. I focus also on the pandemic. During the pandemic, obviously, is when I was terminated from my job. With medical, the whole world can shut down again. And thankfully enough, my business will still be a thing. So that's why I focused on medical, because again, that's all I knew personally, because I was always in medical. Outside of the casino life and casino world, I always did medical.
Yeah, and again, it's a field that's not going away. So finding something that they need in a field, and it's really cool. We always say entrepreneurs solve problems, and you really did. When you can create that much convenience for medical facilities, it really is a great idea. This is Braylon Carter. He's in ninth grade, one of our band members here, and he asked, even though you focused on medical apparel, have you thought about going into any other types of apparel in the future?
Yes, I love that question. Absolutely. Because you always have to keep expanding. If you don't expand, that's how businesses fail. You have to keep expanding and keep in the know of what's popular. So I absolutely do plan on expanding outside of medical apparel. I also hopefully next year plan on doing chef jackets. So that's another big in the restaurant business. So yes, that's something that's coming hopefully 2024 to Scrubbed in Style, chef jackets and chef attire.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because you're there in Atlantic City, which is a big hospitality area. Places like that, they're here in Mississippi, hospitality on the coast with the casinos is very huge as well. Industries like that are always going to need apparel for safety and sanitation and things like that. So that's a great point. I never thought about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second?
Sure.
All right, 1 second.
All right, this is Christian Wolf. He's a senior here, and he asked, on average, how much time and money did you put into starting your business at the beginning?
Time and money. Sheesh. That's a good one. Initially, when I started, I put everything I had. My business cost was about 20 grand, and that's what I had to start. And by me becoming unemployed, I pretty much had free time. A lot of it.
Wow. And I just love hearing your story because it's so unbelievable to hear all the stuff that you've done. Now, we're almost out of time, and it's just always such a pleasure to have you, and you're one of my favorite guests. But before we go, you had a tough time. You went through losing a job that you had worked hard for several years in, and made the best of that and turned it into a successful business. and you're a Black business owner in, in the United States, you're a female business owner in the United States, you deal
Right.
with obstacles, and you already dealt with a big one in losing your job. But
Right.
yet you have become even more and more successful than when we had you 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So what can these kids do now as young people maybe wanting to get into entrepreneurship to be just as successful as someone like you?
Like I said, stay consistent. No matter what, stay consistent. It's times we all, because I just went to an event recently and we all say this. It's times where we literally want to quit because you don't always make the money. That's another thing. So make sure you have another income that's going to be a backup. And we both know that it's hard out here to live, period. No matter what type of career you have, it's extremely expensive. So I always tell people to make sure you have a backup, because it might take some time for your business to, be successful. It might take some time. People, you have to get to know, your product and what you're selling and things like that. So.
But definitely there's a possibility to be incredible in what you have done. It's just so cool to see.
Thank
And now,
you.
before we go, tell us where to find tell us where to find Scrubbed in Style online.
Okay, so Scrubbed in Style is online and mobile, like I said, and we are at www.scrubbedinstyle.com.
Yeah, and all of your social media links are on there. You guys are on Instagram and Facebook. Just
Yes.
really, really cool stuff. And I encourage everybody, even if you're going to nursing school, if you're going and starting to work as a CNA part-time, really look at her products. She's got some great stuff for men and women to use to get their medical career started. So we thank you so much, Leah Ellis, all the way from Delaware, owner and founder of Scrubbed in Style. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Good luck to you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure, buddy. Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.